God for that, right? Thank God for that. Things I haven't even looked at Bounding into Comics yet. Yeah, that's how much I've been had my head off the game. Where are we up to? Sorry, I'm looking for. Oh, there you go. I want to go here. So here's the first bit of news I want to talk about, and I think this is bullshit myself. Okay, I think this is bullshit, but let's read it anyway. Doctor Who fans, the lead up to the show's 60th anniversary next month. A new leak from the BBC and Disney has revealed that not one but two spin-offs are coming to Disney Plus. Well, listen, if they're pouring money into Drek like Loki, it's just Drek. I don't know any other way to describe it. It is just Drek. Again, fantastic cast. Looks fantastic. Written like shit, right? Absolute shit. The first part is an 8-part series around the organization unit, starring Jenna Redgrave, Ruth Baddeley, Freema Agnew, John Lynch, Bertie Carvel, and Ingrid Oliver. The only person there who interests me in any way is Freema Agnew, and that's because she is easy on the eyes, right? Very easy on the eyes. The most exciting of all this is that David Tennant and Catherine Tate will start in a 6-part series called Partners in Time, which follows the Rift Doctor and Donna's new adventures in time and space. Yeah, so the idea is that the Doctor, this regeneration, is split into 2 or something. He's called the Rift Doctor. Does it talk any more here? Yeah, here we are. A new leak on Doctor Who has revealed that the 14th Doctor will bi-regenerate. Oh, so the 14th Doctor's bi as well. Has a penis. Both of them do. Bit of sword fighting going on. Lee's getting excited. Calm down, Lee. Calm down with you and Turlo in his short shorts. In the 60th anniversary climax. Look, I just put climax as well. This is pure filth, baby. And I'm enjoying it. Meaning the 14th and 15th Doctors will coexist and become separate bodies. Well, I do think something funky is going on, obviously, because it's close regenerated, right? Which, I understand, right? Patrick Troughton to John Pertwee, William Hartnell to Patrick Troughton. Yeah, his clothes regenerated, but that was just a production error, right? I understand that, from Tom Baker to Peter Davison, his boots changed to trainers, like plimsolls. I get that, but like generally speaking, that was just a production error. That Sylvester McCoy running around in Colin Baker's way too big coat. Man, Colin Baker was not happy on that Blu-ray release of season 24 when he saw Sylvester McCoy in his costume. Like he's like, oh, he's got my little teddy bear buttons. I'm sorry, mate. So he's going to bi-regenerate in the 60th anniversary climax. Meaning the 14th and 15th Doctors will coexist in separate bodies. Leak claims the 14th Doctor will stay in the current TARDIS, and the 15th Doctor will fly off in their own TARDIS. I mean, I guess it's possible, right? I guess it's. It seems unlikely, right? But it's possible. If this were true, I would confirm it would confirm old rumors where they were looking at a soft reboot of the franchise that would publish so that I publish a new one could get hooked on the series. Well, look, my dream for a long time has been like a main Doctor Who series and like older Doctors, like, you know, a 4-part Matt Smith season or a 6-part Capaldi season, right? I would love that. But I think that's unlikely, right? But Chowder, that was basically Hartnell's just worn differently. Well, yeah, I mean, it wasn't, but if you squint, it kind of looks like that, right? But they kind of gloss over that pretty quickly. I don't know. I don't think this rumor sounds believable. But here, let's have a look at the leaks. You go over here, doink. So this is the I'm not sure where this came from. Reddit, maybe. The leaks for what's going on. This is the Christmas special. I don't know because I haven't read this yet. So let's go through it together. and see what they have to say, right? We're up to doink. Fine. So this I heard. So this may be ripped off from a previous rumor, or might be a confirmation of the rumor. The episode called "The Church on Ruby Road," which is the Christmas episode. The story begins on Christmas Eve with a woman leaving behind a newborn baby named Ruby on the steps of the church. Ruby is adopted and raised by Carla. Carla, I think, is Anita Dobson, right? So look, something that I think that Rusty Davidson wants to do with this new era is everything that Chris Chibnall wanted to do, but make it work, right? So he wanted to like really bring in people adopted, because he was adopted. He wanted to make adopted people feel like they were part of the Doctor Who universe or something. I don't know. So maybe he's doing that. Many years later, the Doctor, a time traveler, arrives in the area and takes interest in Ruby's situation. In a television interview, Ruby discusses her life and the changes she's faced, expressing a desire to find her birth parents. During the interview, a strange coincidence happens. The Doctor unexpectedly appears. Ruby visits her mother, Carla, and announces they are fostering a baby girl, Lulubelle, born on Christmas Eve like Ruby. Okay. So hopefully this isn't true, because it sounds dull as bloody ditchwater to me. Fine. Where are we up to? The also doesn't sound that Christmassy. Ruby experiences a series of accidents. Goblins appear, kidnapping Lulubelle due to the coincidences surrounding her. The Doctor and Ruby work together to rescue Lulubelle and from the goblins on their ship. They succumb and they return to Ruby's. They succeed. Sorry, not they succumb. They succeed and they return to Ruby's flat, where the Doctor meets Cherry, Ruby's foster grandmother. The Doctor and Ruby discuss the goblins and accidents. In a surprise twist, the Doctor reveals that Ruby is Carla's daughter. What? Okay, Ruby is Carla's daughter, but time has been altered, causing the confusion and erasing Ruby's existence. After a confrontation, well, you could have the Weeping Angels do that, I guess. After a confrontation with the mysterious forces, the Doctor and Ruby are reunited. So Ruby is Carla's daughter. Who's Carla? Okay, so she's really Carla's. I'm not following any of this. Doctor and Ruby are after a conversation with the mysterious forces. The Doctor and Ruby are reunited. The Doctor's TARDIS disappears, leaving Carla and the other surprise at the end. Also, the person they say is coming back from 2005 is Davina McCall, playing herself this time, and not an android. Also has some spoilers for the 60th. Look, none of that really is comprehensible to me. It doesn't sound very good, frankly. It doesn't sound very good, right? Fine, so let's see what they've got to say about the 60th. The Doctor has to give Donna her memories back to stop Meat from destroying London. Donna dies, but doesn't because her daughter inherited half the Meta Crisis power and a penis. Right, that Meta Crisis power also gave her beautiful little girl a dick. Incredible, right? Although chicks with dicks, normal thing in 2023. There are two Doctors by the end of the giggle, because the Doctor is bi-regenerated, which it was supposed to be a myth according to 14. The second special, While Blue Yonder, happens because at the end of the special one, Donna spills coffee onto the TARDIS console, causing it to malfunction. That I believe. Finally, they come up with something that's credible. That I actually believe, right? Yeah, that even though, like, I don't believe it because the rest of this stuff isn't very credible. That stuff I believe, right? Fine. Now I've lost my place. Where are we up to? Okay, so she spills coffee, so they end up in the wibbly wobbly world. That sounds very Rusty Davis. On the coffee, of course, about function. Rose Tyler doesn't show up in anything other than a previously 15 years ago segment at the start of the first special. The meat didn't crash. The meat didn't crash. It was on purpose. Oh, so they didn't go. It was on purpose. Right. Use a comma, whoever you are. Rose is non-binary and uses she/they pronouns. Well, again, chick with a dick, baby. Quite understandable. The reason she is kind of because the reason she is kind of is because the Doctor and Donna, the Doctor as the Doctor is always he, she, or depending on regeneration. Rose gets annoyed at the Doctor for assuming that Meep is a he. Again, I kind of believe that could happen. Okay. The toy maker says he has played a game. He has played one game with the previous Doctor. The second Doctor. The second with the 14th. Now he must play with the next Doctor. The 14th regenerates. He hasn't. What is this about? 14 regenerates. He finds he hasn't changed, but there is a 15th Doctor next to him. This is where what the hell is going on here is said. Okay, well that sounds credible, but again, I'm not really buying much of this. What the hell is going on here? Although he sounds much more Scottish than the latest stuff I heard from him. What are we up to? Later, both in unison say, "I challenge you to a game," and the toy maker is annoyed. That's cheating. There are two of you. Okay, that sounds reasonably reasonable. The 14th Doctor says, but according to the rules, you can't say no. He accepts the challenge. Together, they manage to win the game, and the 14th prize was to banish the toy maker from existence after the. Yeah, it kind of reminds me in the reasonably poor BBC novel, the first one of the 8th Doctor Adventures, you had the 8th Doctor team up with the 5th Doctor to stop a Rastan warrior robot. And the way they did it is they both walked in perfect sync towards the robot, so he didn't know which one to go to first, and that kind of short-circuited him. Fine. So after the game, the 14th Doctor and the 15th Doctor, Donna and Mel, really? Now I don't believe you again. Discuss the consequence of their adventure, mentioning Sarah Jane Adric and why Adric? River Song. Donna tells the Doctors, why don't they just take a break and enjoy a simpler life? That's when the 15th Doctor remembers he hasn't said what his prize would be. A second TARDIS, and now the 14th Doctor stays behind while the 15th Doctor flies off in his TARDIS. Well, I know. I mean, okay, I guess. I mean, I guess. There's so there's we might actually got a hint from the TARDIS. Let's have a look over here. I mean, again, all this stuff seems reasonably uninspiring, so I don't really trust it. It could be true. I don't know. You tell me. Vasco is there. How you doing, Vasco? Thank you for joining us. There we go. So now that's the sex toy maker. I know sex toy maker. Well, I can see them going that way. Right. So this is the new Doctor Who spy hashtag. Which I find so freaking boring. I really genuinely do. And it's saying this might be a piece from the TARDIS. Okay, Doctor Who fans, you know the deal. We got BBC, Disney Plus showrunner Rusty Davis upcoming 3 episodes, blah, 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 Captain Date, blah, 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 blah. Who's by maybe teasing when it drops a new image. Like the one below, which appears to be a close-up of a personal look at the Gallifreyan tech. But I just find this so boring. Like what our Raiders telling us that this is from the TARDIS console, but the Tennant's 14th Doctor TARDIS or 15th. It looks more like Tennant's 14th. It's got that little cracking, sonic screwdriver look to it. Where we're leaning towards being from the anniversary, but let us know what you think. What do I think? I think I'm bored, right? I think I'm bored. Better bored than annoyed, right? And annoyed, that's what we get with Doomsday reaches its final hour. Is she out of time? One can only fucking hope. This has been a disaster, right? Doomsday has been a relentless disaster. Doom, Suze Kepner reaches the final day and the chapter of Doctor Who multimedia event Out of Time by James Goss. After 23 hours spent on multimedia missions to save a life, which nobody listened to, nobody read, nobody cared about, because you had a political bigot as your face of it, who is a cunt, who is just relentlessly cunting. Like, she put out a shit trailer, right? And everyone went, oh man, this is shit. And she went around insulting everybody. I'm like, God, dude. Okay, just accept it. This was shit, right? So, and the premise was ridiculous. I'm being chased by death. Literal death. Oh, God, I hope he catches you. But will there be a 25th hour of Doom, or has death held the winning hand all along? We can only hope. The answer to all those and a bunch of other questions, and to see what the future might hold, you can head over to Doctor and read. I don't know. Just spoil it for me, right? I don't really give a shit. Are they going to tell us? Yeah, nobody cared about any of this shit, right? Nobody read these books. This is probably more of a failure than Time Lord Victorious. I mean, look at this shit. And Time Lord Victorious was garbage. Fine. So there's this thing. Wrapping up Doomsday. Doomsday, a multimedia mixed bag. No, it wasn't. It was all shit of missed opportunities. Oh, you're saying it's a mixed bag of many different types of missed opportunities. Well, we can agree then, right? We can totally agree. It's a mixed bag of many missed opportunities. Doctor Who's Doomsday is about Doom, embodied by the up-and-coming UK stand-up Suze Kepner. Yeah, hopefully this is her career, right? It was so insanely stupid casting her in this role, right? It was so insanely stupid making an anniversary event around a new character played by an unlikable cunt, right? I mean, I saw they're filming Lord of the Rings Season 2 for Amazon. Why did they think it was a good idea to make, what's her name? Adriel, whatever, the main character into an obnoxious cunt? Oh, God, and she is. Deathenstalking, she has decided to take a job an hour across time and space in the hopes of finding the Doctor on one of those missions, hoping that she might help us stay alive. And now we've reached the end. Thank God. Oh, never to be heard of again. Although, again, Loki Season 2 made another season for no apparent reason, right? No apparent discernible reason. They made another season of it. Out of Time by James Goss. Doom finally comes to the end of her journey, thank God. Her mission to find the Doctor and escape death. She arrives in New Venice, the original site of her assignment, 24 hours earlier, and nearly 3 months ago for those following her every chapter. We weren't. There's nobody, literally nobody following her every chapter. Where the Doctor tried to warn her not to carry out assignment. She did, killed her target, and ended up being stalked by death. Death! Literal death. It's so shit! Oh my God. I mean, was it the robot from the Visitation? That would make more sense. So she spent 24 hours going from across space, from prose to comics to audiobook stories to mediocre phone games. Well, you can put up mediocre before all these. To a prose novel and a full cast Big Finish audio drama. I wonder how much money they lost on that. I'd love to find out. Does she survive? Does the series stick the landing? Well, sort of. Well, it can't get any worse than the rest of it. Doctor Who Doomsday forgets to make us care about the heroine. Yes, because they just assumed we would love the stunning and brave Suze Kempner because she dunks on the chuds. It's so funny. Maybe you fucking morons at BBC, whatever BBC department, BBC Sounds, whatever idiot department it was. Maybe you want to meet people outside your intensely tiny bubble. Where are we up to? We won't spoil the ending for you. Oh, God, just go read. No, I'm not going to read it. Quick look, and we'll just go to the end. I can't read through this again. She watched the TARDIS fade away from the jetty, leaving the waters of New Venice to churn against the timbers. She walked down the shore and watched the sunset over the dead world, and she did some thinking. Doom spotted an opportunity. Maybe, Doctor, there's a living to be made with cleaning up your mess. And Doom set up to start a new day. God. She regarded the feather boa the Doctor had given her, and that, what the hell? Do we even find out what Doctor this is? Oh, wow, said Doom. Quite a lesson to Terry reached the office. Gone boring. Don't care. Doctor looked round. Don't care. Which doctor? Give me a description for the Doctor. Doctor looked up, steely gaze. The Doctor turned away. Who is the Doctor? Is it this Doctor? Okay, fine. Finally. Okay, they told us. Don't care. So sadly, she survived. Where are we up to? You did. If you're curious, that's as much curiosity you're going to get out of me. It reveals at last which Doctor actually tried to warn her. First Doctor. You'll just think, oh, of course, it would be this Doctor. It was always him, and brings Doom full circle. It also features Terry, the resentful, passive-aggressive administrator who schedules assignments to Doom and the other assassins in the lower order of Oberon. Turns out that Terry is the one truly evil one in the story who set Doom up all along. Don't care. Not the most surprising twist. Again, who gives a shit? The Doctor became involved with Doom's dilemma, and now he helps to resolve it. And it becomes clear that the Doctor and Doctor Who general sense of morality wins out in the end. The problem is it doesn't matter in the end because nobody listened, nobody watched this, nobody read this, nobody listened to it. This was a stillbirth, and it was killed by Suze Kempner. Let's be clear. And again, I think Big Finish could ask for its money back. They put into this, but from the BBC. Doctor Who Doomsday ends up inessential and inconsequential. Yeah, it doesn't convince us that this is a special event because it wasn't. Yeah, you don't know why they even bothered to come up with it at all, considering there's already Doctor Who Once and Future. Much better, although I only did the first 20 minutes of the latest disc because it just wasn't very good. I'll finish it by next stream. Probably be on Wednesday, right? I'll probably do Tuesday, maybe do Wednesday, maybe we'll do Thursday as well. Once in Future, whose title spells out why the 60th matters in 60th anniversary matters event. Yes, multimedia audio drama crossover from Big Finish to celebrate the series 6th anniversary before the mothership returns in November. Nothing in Doomsday even indicates it's part of the 60th anniversary celebration. Nothing in Doomsday indicates it's anything to do with Doctor Who other than the member berries, right? Which they just seem cosmetically slapped on. The BBC's own podcast spin-off, The Piece of Shit Redacted, at least tells an interesting story. I doubt that. With interesting characters. I saw the characters. They're shit, right? They're genuinely shit. They're narcissistic shitholes. Interesting characters celebrates the show's history and fandom while bringing LGBTQ representation that was always part of the show to the surface. It was always part of the show. Then why did you bring it to the surface? It was always there. Man, that is a sentence about having your cake and eating it. Well, Doctor Who was always about LGBTQ representation. Okay, so why'd you have to do something about LGBTQ representation? Ah, we have to. Okay. Part of the show service. You come out at the end of Doomsday wondering what was the point of all that. Most people went into it with that, right? Most people went into it with that. Doctor Who's Doomsday completely fails to give us any reason to care about Doom, yes, as a character, despite the heavy listing of the casting of Suze Kempner. No, I think you cast Suze Kempner and all work stopped at that point, right? All caring stopped. Her face and her voice. She's effortlessly funny. No, she's not. I've seen, okay, she can be insulting to anybody not insanely left wing, right? That's not funny. I understand that you're insanely left wing and insufferably left wing. So you think laughing at people maliciously is fun. It's not. It fails to convince us that we should care about. What's it? I missed the sentence. She's absolutely fun when you finally hear her perform the role in the audiobook stories and the Big Finish audio. But the writing undercooks her. Okay, maybe because she's just shit, right? It fails to convince us why we should care. Why Doom, an amoral, remorseless, and glib murder for hire lives or dies. Nobody did. Even James Goss, one of the wittiest and sharpest writers and Doctor Who in the Big Finish stable, seems to forget to show us why Doom matters at all. Well, again, I think when people saw Suze Kempner's hiring, they said, "Oh, it doesn't really matter. There's no point putting any effort into this. We'll just take the paycheck." Seems to get why Doom matters at all. While the beauty of Russell T Davies' writing has always been to show us that everyone matters. Well, that's a good point. The problem with cross media events. Okay, there's not a problem with cross media events. It's a problem with how they do them. The problem with this one is that it was a bad concept. You take something like Shadows of the Empire. Remember, that was like the first one where you had like comic books, novels, toys, right? Did you have an audio? I can't remember. But that was good because you had a good central story, right? This had a shit central story. And the problem with the last one, Time Lord Victorious, was the central story was they gave too much latitude to the licensees. And so you had like Jodie Hauser at Titan Comics coming up with the normal crap that like just everything felt like a irrelevant add-on. Doomsday also proves that once again that cross-media events don't work. No, they don't work when they're done badly. It makes a niche spin-off even more niche. Again, if you have something that's compelling, people would do it, right? People will be up for it. At least an audio event like Once and Future is consistently easy to find. You just buy each installment if you're interested. Doctor Redacted can be streamed from BBC Sound's website if you've got a head injury. To keep track of Doomsday, the show's official website, to comics, to phone games, to paid audiobook, to paid prose novel, to an expensive audio drama, then back again to a free prose story, is confusing at best and tedious at worst. It was tedious. It's practically a part-time job to keep it. Again, if there is a buying habit for each of these pieces of media, like for novels, remember when we used to get new novels every month, right? There was a habit of buying them. We get new audios every month. There's a habit to buying them. New comics every month. But we don't get new things every month because the commercial viability of Doctor Who was destroyed essentially by the Jodie Whittaker years. It's practically a part to go about. At the end, the story isn't even substantial enough to make it feel worth the effort. No, it wasn't. So how did this work out? Doom has no emotional heart, and none of the different installments of her story really connect with one another. So none of them really matters. It's just as well then that you never bother with Doomsday because it wasn't it wasn't that bothered either. Suze Kempner deserved better and better writing. I don't think she deserved better, right? I don't think she deserved better. I think it was garbage, baby, right? I think it was genuinely garbage, right? Speaking of garbage, let's see what Sophie Aldred's been saying, right? Which has not been smart, right? And I like Sophie Aldred. My son, who's gay and a drag king, came running downstairs and he said, "Mum, I'm going to start watching Doctor Who now." Right, then everybody else turned it off at the same time, right? Like how big is the demographic for gay drag queens? There's what 0.0001% of them in the population. Yeah, you got them. You got them. And you expect everybody else to go, "All right, we're fucking on fine with this." Go and tell your kids to cut his cock and balls off. That's going to be fine. Like any other Doctor Who fan, ace actress Sophie Aldred has got some major theories in mind for the 6th anniversary special. I think Jodie Whittaker's regeneration, I think it was unstable, so I think the Doctor's going to be kind of come in and out, you know. And then Ncuti Gatwa is a great choice of the Doctor. She points to the Radio Times, clearly excited about prospect for the rest of us. Explaining that she and her husband binge watch Sex Education. Again, if you think there's any kind of like connected tissue between Sex Education and Doctor Who, that's a problem. He's going to be such a brilliant Doctor. I thought that as well. I can't wait to see it. Not holding my breath. Right? I am not holding my breath. And also when it was announced he was going to be the new Doctor, my son, who's gay and a drag king, came running down and says, "Mum, Dad, I'm going to start watching Doctor Who." That means everybody else is going to turn it off, mate, because he's not watched it and he's not been fussed. And I just think that's brilliant. All these amazing casting choices that Rusty Davis is making. So I think we're just going to get a whole new generation and a whole new fan base. Fuck me. How bad? Who else thought they're going to get themselves a whole new fan base, right? Who else thought they're going to? Well, that's a sort of woolly thing that created this. 1 second. Hang on. The Galactic Star Cruiser, right? The Star Wars thing that died a freaking death. Literally billions they spent on this and the Star Wars world. Literally billions. And it was about fat old middle-aged women, which is what Star Wars is about now. Middle-aged women fighting in space. That's what Star Wars is about now, and that's why no one's fucking interested in it. I understand Kathleen Kennedy is a middle-aged woman, but you know, Kathleen, darling, you're not the audience, as proven by your colossal failure in everything, right? And so, yeah, and they said, "Oh, we're going to get a whole new fan base," right? Then Star Wars said, "Well, we could have Han Solo and Luke Skywalker, but they're only people like them are old 40-year-olds. Why don't we use our new characters that will be with us forever with our whole new fan base?" Try and lean into your own fan base, right? And things do better. What do you think did better in the Kurtzman Star Trek reign? Star Trek Picard, season 3, or Star Trek Discovery, season 3? Which one do you think did better? My guess is Star Trek Picard, season 3. Why? Because it was Star Trek. Doctor Who, which is very, very exciting. So yeah, I'm thrilled to see how it's going to go. Sophie, darling, everything you're saying is a kiss of fucking death, right? To a TV show. And Bonnie Langford, of course, yeah, because gay people hate Bonnie Langford. Bonnie Langford, yay! I've been texting her saying, "I'm so jealous." Yeah, I really thought Sophie was going to get the call, not Bonnie. I'm so jealous. And then I saw a picture on the Vespa, which I never got to ride. I thought, hang on a minute, that's not fair. Oh, Ace. Well, yes, I would say Bonnie Langford may be a better actress than he, even though Sophie was pretty good in Power of the Doctor, even though that was a piece of shit. It's very, very exciting to see sums up. Yes, it's going to get a whole new audience and lose its original one of normal people. Yeah, have you thought of how the non-drag queen non-gay audience is going to take to it? Maybe not that well, right? Maybe not that well. I think it's going to blow our ideas of what's possible with Doctor Who out the water. Fuck off, Sophie! Make Doctor Who. Don't try and reinvent Doctor Who. That's why the 2005 not reboot revival worked. It was Doctor Who at its core. With Doctor Who out of the water. I mean, let's face it. Russell's got a pretty good track record, hasn't he? He's ace. Oh, fuck off. He certainly does. But does Sophie with her iconic? So does Sophie with her iconic companion Ace. It's no exaggeration to say Ace changed the game for companions. She fit into the times. However, the slightly questionable representation at the time was female companions or assistants as teenage Ace burst onto the screen in 1980 and clad in a cool leather jacket. It wasn't leather, it was a bomber jacket, covered in badges, and taking absolutely none of the Doctor's nonsense. She took all of the Doctor's nonsense. There wasn't a part like that on TV at the time. There wasn't a female representation in the show, in a popular show. You are really? What year was Prime Suspect? Now, Prime Suspect was what year? Season 1. That was 92. Okay, that was the. What about Widows? TV series. 83. Right, it was 1983, right? That was a great. Yeah. What is this nonsense? Women weren't allowed on TV. Fucking retard that you are. I think we had a script there, Andrew Carmel, to thank. What about Angels? That's a female drama. Fuck's sake. This is so insane. When you look back, there was no Buffy the Vampire Slayer. No, there were shows from that time. Let me see if I can Google 1980s female-led TV drama. Let's see what it comes up with. Women with sitcoms. Okay. Let's see what this is. Simpsons, Seinfeld, Star Trek. Well, Star Trek Next Generation had proactive female. Had Lieutenant Yar, Twin Peaks, Cheers, Married with Children, Baywatch. Well, yeah, they were. Baywatch was important. Apparently, was important to Baywatch. Dynasty, Neighbours. Yeah, no women allowed. Roseanne. No women were allowed on TV then. Obviously, that'll be cray-cray. LA Law had a bunch of female characters passing the Bechdel test. We got Moonlighting. We had a female lead. I think there was that. I mean, there was a female lead in most things, and most of these female leads were proactive people. God, she's full of shit. I mean, man, has she drunk from the Kool-Aid? I mean, she's got a gay drag queen son. I mean, what do you expect? She's drunk from the Kool-Aid. And the writers, obviously, the new writers he was using, because he come from a comic book culture where women were represented, weirdly, in a more realistic way, also in spandex, in a kind of funny way, maybe not visually. Well, he's talking about things like Halo Jones, where they were. She's sort of temperamentally and emotionally. So I think I'm just privileged to play the part. You are, darling. As for her journey to get the part, though, she describes the audition as a bizarre process. How long does this go on for? Oh, I don't think I can do this. You never think it now, but you know the age of cell tapes. People just auditioning. I've never heard a similar story. So I was in the back row chorus of Fiddler on the Roof in Manchester, and Topol, Chaim Topol, who obviously originated the role. He didn't, but he was the most famous person in it. Having a great time. And my agent put me up for 3 episodes of Doctor Who. I've never done TV before. I've never been in a TV studio. And they wanted somebody who looked younger than they were and who could ride a motorbike. Yeah, she was up for Ray, right, I believe. I went down to London begrudging the train fare because I was on equity minimum back then in the back row of the chorus. And I have peak tickets to get back there on the show. I met the director, read a bit from Daisy Bordoff, had a chat, and the director got back and saying, yeah, that was a waste of money, and didn't hear anything until 2 weeks later. Aldred went back to London to meet with producer John Nathan Turner for a 10-minute meeting, probably spending a fortune as well. She was thinking nothing of it other than forking out money for another pricey train ticket. When her agent left notes at the theatre for her to call her, it became clear that she not only got the job. They're like, yeah, so they told her she was up for the new companion. It was just the most exciting thing. I never had a screen test. I mean, I never been in front of the camera. As I said, so the first time I did that was the first day of filming a Dragonfire. And the next day, John Nathan Turner came down the stairs from the gallery, lit up a cigarette, said, well, darling, we're on if you are. Meaning she would have the part of the companion. So I took that to mean a yes. I passed the screen test and I got the part of the companion. Okay, fine. I can't do any more of this. Leave me alone. Leave me alone.
My name's Tzvi Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell. Ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop.